Okay, what about now? Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I know you are. Let's do this. Okay, we have 30 minutes. Let's rock it out. Kind of before we get started, I sometimes iPads are a pain in the butt, and I don't know. So welcome in. I got to tell you before we get started a little bit on not only just how I do this, but what happens, and that way you know why the hell am I making such stupid faces during a session. Okay, so number one, it's just gonna be me. I'm gonna have this pen. I'm gonna have a
Like
notepad.
you keep going in and out.
Real okay, it could be on that side. I know that I have.
Oh, now I
full-
can hear you good.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I know I have full bars and I'm seeing it. So it just could just be buffering, I guess.
Okay.
So number one is just gonna be me. I'm gonna have a little notepad. I don't take any notes. All I do is scribble the entire time because I get anxiety when I channel. The next thing too is that whenever we channel, you have to remember that what we're doing is we're saying, hey, I want this person's soul. I want this person's consciousness to come in, pop in my body, and use my energy, my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions to try to bring a message. And not every spirit's been channeled before. And every medium, if they actually do it, they talk to them in a little bit of different way. So I'm pretty much like a tool. Okay.
Okay.
So the first couple of minutes, it's me trying to figure out how the hell they want to talk and how they can use me. Okay. So
Okay.
there's four different ways that they talk. And so some of the ways I'm going to break them down, but it's almost like a code. Um, they'll go through and they'll give me a whole bunch of signs and symbols that mean one thing to me. Like if I see, hold on, let me readjust this. If I see like a pineapple, that means they're from Florida. If I see a pineapple with an X on it, that means to me, don't move to Florida. Like just weird stuff like that. The next
Okay.
thing is that they will do feelings and emotions. So just like when I talk to you, I'm giving you words. You're taking those words and you're digesting them as feelings. So what they do is they give me a lot of feelings, and then I take them and I put them into words. The last two ways are that they'll try to put me in different situations that either happen to them, happen to you, or will happen to you. And the last one is I get words and phrases. I'm already starting to channel. Just be with me. All I really need you to do is tell me, heck yeah, that makes sense, or no, it doesn't, because I want them to talk. I
Okay.
want them to talk. Okay. So let me go ahead to lastly before we get into this is I am going to be listening to a soundtrack in my headphones. Um, and so if I ever look at it, don't think that, I'm going to turn this off. Don't think I'm sitting here ignoring you. I refuse to pay for YouTube Premium. And so I hit like skip the commercial because I don't need to give them any of my money. So be there with me. Let me go ahead and put this on. This person doesn't like my music, which is fine. That's okay. But they're very respectful in a way. I have on classical piano, Be Thou My Vision, and he was like, Man, what is that? What is that? I'm like, I don't know. This is what I'm doing to like meditate on. And it's so funny because he also says, like, don't worry, I'm kidding. So in a way, he's very serious, but he's also very nice and very funny as well, and can be. But in like a homely fashion. He like hits me on my arm in a way like with I can't do it with the back of my hand, but like this, but beside.
uh,
So he's telling me like, lighten up. So I'm gonna ask him about you, your relationship. Um, I'm always asking questions in my head. Hang on, so what? Yeah, I think you have your life right. I think you're doing good. I think you're doing good. He's funny. He's like walking around what would be your kitchen, and he's like opening and closing cabinets in my head. And he's saying, "Oh, she's doing good. She's doing good." He says that he says he wishes he was here. He wishes he was here. He says that I don't know if people actually got closure from his passing. That's the whole thing because he's talking about how maybe it was very intense and it was like that, and he apologizes for that, but it's hard for him to apologize because he just shakes his head. He goes like that. He says that he wants you to he wants to give you a hug and he wants you to cry on him. Like that's what he wants. And I can feel his arms trying to wrap around you and like make you all soft and squishy. And he tells you how much he loves you. He says, he's not good with that. So he's like, he's not this overly emotional, overly I love you person, but the
uh,
way that he feels is coming up and grabbing you and you can feel this. He says that mean everything to him, which is very Good. He says, funny. He says, nobody can drag you through the mud because you could beat them up, which is funny. Like there's a whole thing on how he's raised like this tough daughter in a way, in a good way. He says that, tell me, you have kids? You're a mom?
Do I have kids? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Like, you want to strike me as a mom. He goes like this. He says that he watches after your kids. He says like you're a really good mom. He says that, um, one. Who is that? He literally used the word, um, don't let anybody fuck with you. And I'm like, okay. Or mess with you in a way. So he doesn't want you to like be messed around. So what happened to you, sir? Hold on. It's almost like he just showed me an image of him walking up to your door, knocking on it, and you not being able to see him. There's a couple of things for that. Maybe he never came home. Weird. I've never heard that before. Like he's talking about like trying to walk up and come inside. I've never seen that. There's a lot of interpretations for that. He says that one. It almost feels like with how he passed away, he's like scoffing at it. He's like, "Oh, that killed me." And I'm like, "Okay." So there's like sarcasm that goes with this. He says that, okay, I'm just gonna dead what he just said was so interesting. Is he from California?
No.
Where is he from? Is he from Arizona?
No.
Where is he from?
Tijuana.
Oh, he's from Tijuana. Okay, okay. Interesting. Only reason is because I'm in California right now. I'm in like San Diego area. I've just got here. That's why I'm not in my session room right now. And then he just said California. And I'm like, okay, is he from there? What is that? He says that, tell me, does California have anything to do with anything?
Yeah, he did live in California though. He was born in TJ, but he lived in California.
Okay, that's okay. That's it. No, just because how he said it, he goes like this. He says California, and I was like, okay, what about that? He was like, you like it? I was like, yeah, I do like it. Like he's okay with it. He says that. Tell me, he likes his neighborhood. It's interesting. He's like gotten away from the neighborhood. He's gotten away from like the chaos, I guess, in a way. And he's talking about walking on the beach and like smelling the air. I'm trying to figure out. I keep asking him over and over again what happened to him. He's a very tough, intense gentleman. Hold on, I'm gonna try to figure this out. Come here. Can you tell me that? There's a lot of sadness that goes around this passing. He keeps saying, I just want to get back up. I just want to keep going. Your father is so stubborn that he's like not letting death like take him. He just feels like he's walking around your house in my head. And so I'm keep having him. He's so stubborn. He's just pacing around like
Hmm.
your living room. Is your living room in front of you?
Yeah, it is.
Sorry. He's like making me see from your eyes, and I can hear his shoes. I can hear his heavy shoes in my head for some reason walking around. Um, and he likes to look nice. Um, he keeps like trying to tell you he's come home and your house is his home. And so he's like, I don't know if he died outside the home. That almost feels like what this would be. I don't know why. But spirit doesn't reference a whole lot all the time of like, I came home to you like that. He says that, okay, and I quote, was his passing a fucked up situation?
Yes.
Okay, that was what he said. Quote. He says that he almost feels like nothing is going to come of it. Like maybe there was justice or something involved, but like ain't nothing gonna come of it or something. I don't know. It's weird. There's like, but one weird. Had he gone to prison before?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, he just made my ex-husband was in prison for like his eighth DWI. Obviously, he's gone now, but he just gave me the feeling of when I went to go see him there. He says that um, he's a fighter. Your dad is a fighter. He's like knocked somebody out. He says that I wonder if your dad was afraid for his life at some point. It's interesting. He has that feeling of like always looking over his shoulder, like somebody's out to get him, but he's like the main badass involved with this. He had a very stressful life, it almost feels like. But he had to like keep that he had to be the king. He had to be this number one. He says that hold on, hold on. Did he get killed?
Yes.
Well, he said, "What happened to you?" He said, "They killed me. They killed me. They killed me." That's all he said. And I was like, "Tell me, open up more about that." Very hard. His pride is hurt. Weird, but like nothing was done about this. It's a very hush hush situation.
Right.
Says he says, but shit, nothing was done about this. He goes, it's a very situation. And I go, oh, okay. And he says that he could come back to, was he like not with your mom at this point? He was dating somebody else? Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't together no more.
Okay, it's okay. The only reason he said he goes, I wish I could get back to my girl talking about you, but then he talks about like loving or talking to somebody too, like that. And I'm like, but he's not married to mom. He says that it's just a feeling. He says that people are pussies. He is very angry about something. But what is that? I've never been in this situation before, so I'm trying to have him piece it together in my head. It's like putting together puzzle pieces and you don't know what they look like and they click. Tell me, Dad. He like doesn't want you to get messed up um in this. What? Judge? Do we know about that?
The what?
Shot?
You sounded like you're breaking up. What was it?
Oh, no, sorry. Did he get shot?
Um, I don't know
How?
what.
Okay. Okay. Oh, so don't so this is what he says. He goes and he gets like a gun in his hand and he goes like this. Like you know how they turn him sideways like that? But
Uh-huh.
then he's talking about how did this not happen? Did this happen in Mexico?
Yes.
Oh. So I go, so tell me about this. Tell me about this. And he says he gives me the feeling for unorganized crime, and then he gives me he keeps pointing down, like down south, and I was like, where is this at? And he keeps talking about that. He keeps saying that he's not coming back. He's not coming back, and we already know that. He says he's not coming back. He says that there's some bad fucking guys, obviously. And so that's why we can't do anything about this. He says that weird. I did he get into a bar fight?
No, from what I know, no, but he could have.
Okay, no, only reason is because my only reason I asked is because my last session, there was a gentleman, he was Hispanic before I pulled, and he was talking about like being in like a bar in Mexico. That was it. And so I'm like, I wonder, but he was talking about fighting. And so I was like, I just I'm in this situation and I'm like, maybe that was your dad trying to come through and like be a
Oh,
part of
you
it.
know what? Yeah, you know
What?
what? Him and his brother got into a fight at the bar
At the okay. He's
in
just
Tijuana.
talking about bar fight. I was like, what is this? And I'm looking at this woman from like East Hampton, New York, and I'm like, you don't this is not you. No. And I was so confused. It's because your dad has been here. He says that mm, were they only able to like bury like not all of him? What was up with that? What happened with his body? Why is it like all separate? What is that?
He was decomposed.
No. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. He said, I go, what about this? What about, he says they were able to bury me. I said, great. He says, but only parts of me. And I was like, why? So we never had this full on thing. He loves you. He's gonna try to protect you. He's walking around in your house. No wonder he tried to come home. Oh, he's been at your door. He says he wants you to remember that you're strong, that you're intense. He wants you to know he doesn't want anybody to mess with you. He doesn't want to quote unquote fuck with you. He doesn't he says, like, if they step over your boundaries, if they step over your line, tell them to fuck off. Okay. And that may be something that's going on right now, just FYI, but he's like all up in this. So I'm just letting you know. He says that you have one. Aw. Do you have a son? Yeah, okay. He says, did we end up letting the guy name the son and you didn't name it after your dad?
No, he's named after my dad.
He is named after your dad. Yay! Oh, perfect. He goes like this. He shows him the son and he puts his name on him, but then he says, like, don't let the dad's father or the father of him tell you what to do. So like there's something about like tell him to fuck off as well. And he says, I got this little boy. So I just want to let you know your dad is watching
Yeah,
him.
it just me and the
Tell-
dad are having problems right now, and
Oh,
and he's kind of screwing with my son's mind.
oh,
So that's what he probably means by that.
yes. Oh, he doesn't like him doing that. He literally tells me to tell you to tell him to fuck off. Okay. He says that you'll find a way. So he kind of lives here, the guy.
No, he doesn't live here. He lives in California, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Only reason I'm saying that is because he goes, your dad says, you don't have any ties to him besides that. He doesn't pay your bills, like quote unquote. And he says, why don't you just let him go? Like that's all your dad is saying. And he keeps saying, you're better than that. You know you're better than that. He keeps telling you that over and over again. He says, and that guy's talking to other people or something like that too. And like you don't need to put yourself through that. So, anyways, tell him to go. He says that your dad is so powerful, honey. He's so powerful. He says, well, how did you get in that situation? Did he get deported?"
Yeah.
Really said, I go, "How did you get out of the situation?" He goes, "They deported me." That's what he said. I go, "Okay." I've never had that come through in a session, by the way. He says that, tell me, your dad saying curse words. Not, um, what? He's very frustrated because he wants to be with his family. He wants to be protecting people. Is his mom crossed over?
Hmm.
The only angel I have is my mother. And he's talking about how he loves his mom and how his mom is with him, but now he has to come here and he has to take care of you. He says that he says we're one and the same. We're family. And he just wants to remind you that that you share the same energy. You share the same soul. He wants to remind you of that. He says, what? Do you have your last name tattooed on you or his name?
Yeah.
That's what he said. He showed he put his name and then he just put it, but I think it's like his last name, and he put it in writings and he puts it on you. And I was like, good. And he's talking about carry that name with pride, carry that. He says, one. Aw, was he not able to be with you a lot when you were growing up?
Right.
What he said. I go, so tell me, what was the best part of your life with her? And he says, tell her I'm sorry that I wasn't able to be there with her a lot while she's growing up, but let her know that I'm there to be with her now. Okay. So he's gonna walk beside you the entire time. He's just walking around your living room hanging out. Okay. Your dad, I can hear him. Brum, brum, brum. He's this very, very intense guy. He says that he was a little bit mean to your mom. Like, didn't like that. He goes like this. He says that, and he says, "Tell her I'm sorry. I see what like of a butthead I was." He says that He would get drunk and he would just lose his little mind and he need to stop that shit. He says that what? Can you move out of California?
Did I move out of California?
Can you?
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah. Yeah. There's something about how I wanted you to like move out of California. I want you to like start a different life, do a better life, like stuff like that. It's like getting out of it and doing something for the kiddos, and for yourself. Have you ever thought about moving to Texas?
No.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, there's something about how I'd even want you to like move down south or move down there. It's a thing. Just think, obviously in good time, but there's something about for the kiddos. He says that what? My baby. What? You have a 6-year-old?
No, my sister does. My
Oh,
sister has a
really?
6-year-old,
Oh, is it a little girl?
a little girl.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is what he says. He goes, "My baby." And I go, "Well, what about this?" And he shows me female. And then he says 6. And so I just want to let you know that he watches out for her too. Okay. I think in a way he kissed her. So dad was already passed away at the time that this baby was
Yeah,
born.
he didn't get to meet none of his grandkids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because he goes like this. He goes, then hands them over. Okay. So I want to let you know that he met every single one of them and assisted with them coming in because your dad is like the uh, angry bull that protects everybody in his circle. I just want to let you know that. He says that, what? Huh? Do you think you have a couple siblings in Mexico?
No.
No. Okay. Interesting. They keep talking about people that are like the same age as you. That could also be cousin for me too. But there's something that goes along with him. That would be the best thing I could describe on that. He says that, tell me. He just prayed in my head. One. Can you put up or do you have a Lady of Guadalupe in your house? Do you have a little one?
Oh, yeah, we do.
You do. Okay. Oh, so I have a big statue in my session room at home. I'm in my mother-in-law's house right now in California.
Uh-huh.
And he just showed me an image of that. And then he showed me praying hands and he made me do like this to you, which means I need you to have this. And he put it in your home and he's talking about praying to it. Okay.
Okay.
It's a big thing. So honor it. Okay. Because that's how he gains his power. That's how he gains his strength to help out. He says that you and your sister would do so well together, but you can like pull. Ooh, tell me what is it? You and your sister and another brother?
No, just me and my
Just
sister.
you and your sister. Interesting. He talks about how it would be you, her, and then like a male. Maybe it's a husband or somebody she's with. I don't know, but it's like almost like I want y'all to band together, and then like either get a house together or like move somewhere together. Like go. I don't know why. There's something about that how it would be really really good for y'all. He says that. Tell me what happened. Did they just drop his body on like the side of the road? What
No.
happened with him? What happened with him? What do y'all know? He was murdered and it was terrible and there's no justice. What happened with him?
To tell you the truth, I mean, because the body was decomposed, I don't know. Um, yeah, the body was too decomposed already when they found him
When they found him? Where'd they find him at?
in the house where he was living.
In the house. Okay. There's something about being murdered. There's something about how he's like on this cold floor, almost like it'd be like dirt or
Mm-hmm.
cement. That's why he's
Mm-hmm.
talking. Oh, it was. Oh, well, that's why. Okay. So he's talking about how I think he was like beaten. I think there was something that went along with that. Um, do we know if they like ransacked his place? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's just making me hear all this noise, like stuff falling and stuff being pulled.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Your poor dad. Your poor dad. He's talking about how he was talking shit or something, and that's why this happened too. Like he was
Yeah,
talking.
because he had
What
got
was that?
into a fight with the guys. They had broken into his house, and then he ended up stabbing one of them. And then they returned like 3 months later.
So they did. They did. Okay. He's talking. I said, why did this happen? He says, oh, I was talking shit.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, okay. He says that
because they don't like people from LA in TJ. And since
really.
he's from LA, yeah.
Your dad's funny. He said he looked good. He looked good. He's like, I was like, oh, okay, now you're sassy. I get it. He says that he has to protect his daughters and their kids. So I want you to know that your dad is around you, that he loves you. He's not stuck back there. He is in what? What? You don't have a puppy right now, correct? Or a dog?
No.
Yeah, yeah. This is what he said. He just like made a joke. He says, "Why don't you get the kids a puppy?" And then I asked your soul, "Why don't you have that?" And you go, "Because I don't have time. I don't know what to do. I wanted to have time."
And my son's been asking for a dog, and I told him he's crazy because I'm like, that's another mouth for me to feed."
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. So there's something about how your dad wants you to get this puppy for your kids, but he's talking about how you freak out about it, which is normal. But I just want to FYI, if you do decide to get like a little dog or a little puppy, a small one, not a big one, that I think he will find a way to provide for it or help it.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm just gonna leave that there. That's your dad talking about how he
And
fears.
it's funny how you said how he's like how he's here in my house because
Yeah.
my friend was here one day and he thought it was my son, and he had never seen my son before, and he had thought it was my son that came out of my room and out of the room, and I was like, no, my son didn't come out. And he goes, yeah, he went into the restroom. I was like, no. And when I went in and asked my son, did you come out of the room? He was like, no. And then so I was like, I was freaked out with that. And then I had shown him a picture, and it was my dad that he's seen.
Yeah. It's your dad. Your dad is in your home with you. It's because he's protecting you. He's protecting you. Okay. So talk to him, pray, meditate, same thing. Tell him you love him. He's definitely around. He hasn't left you. He's not back over there. He knows what happened to him. Um, and he's going to help you out for the rest of your life. I just need you to listen to your gut. Okay. That's your dad. That's not just your gut. So if you
Hmm.
have a feeling of like, I need to go somewhere, I need to stop talking to somebody, or I need to do this, no, that's him. Okay. Doing that. Okay. And trust yourself. Okay.
Okay.
So for right now, because I gotta also go to another session too, do you have any questions for me, my dear, at all?
I wanted to get the recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you tomorrow morning. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll send it to you tomorrow morning. It's gonna be in a link. Make sure when you click it, download the video. And it's not the fact that if you don't click it, it goes away. It's just in 6 months, we take all of the videos and we put it in storage. And so you won't have access to the link. So you'd have to email me and I get it out. Whatever. That's not a big deal. But just FYI, if you have it there, download it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if you think of anything, if you have any, oh, what? What? When's your son's birthday? Is it like coming up or it just happened? When is it?
August 23rd.
He is a Leo, just like your father. Interesting. Okay. Does he share a similar birthday with your dad?
His when he died August the 13th.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. He goes like this. He says, me and your son are connected. I said, why are you connected? And he's talking about these similar, birthdays, which obviously death is another form of it. And he's talking about how they're mixed as one of the same. So your father is always on the side of your son. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. If you need me or if you have any questions, you just email me. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. Bye,
Bye
honey.
bye.